module is finished, over, I will give you the latest version. Version in the same file with the answers also. So additional slides are there. That is all. Just quickly note down. Okay, now I think for part B, of course, you need not much time to even note down, right? Even writing down something. Right? Remember, you have to have some blank sheets and pen with you because some exercise to be done today with the new parts. These are the answers are given because this things has been discussed the previously, right? So now go to the number C, 4C. 4C is very simple. 2 sine 3x. The 2 is a constant. Differentiation is the sine 3x. What is standard formula? Sine ax. Sine ax differentiation. A sine a cos 3x. So 3 cos 3x. Remember the formula sine ax differentiation cos a cos ax. Therefore, the sine 3x means 3 cos 3x. That is 6 cos 3x. That is simple. 5 in 5a minus 4 cos 2x. No different because minus 4 is a constant. You can leave as it is. Differentiate the cos 2x. Cos 2x differentiation minus 2 sin 2x because cos x differentiation minus sin x. Cos ax differentiation minus a sin ax. 2 sin 2x because a is 2 down here. Finally, it's a minus plus 4 times 2, 8. Final answer 8 sin 2x. You should check the answers also in the right hand side given. First answer, the first answer for 5a. The other answer in this sheet or the other sheet, right? Maybe in the other sheet. 5b, 5b, the exponential function, e to the power, this particular form, the general form, e to the power kx. Remember, e to the power kx, differentiation, ke kx. See, the 2 is a constant, you can leave 2. Differentiate only the ECX. ECX means KEKX. KEKX. Actually, you can understand in this way also. When you differentiate the e to the power exponential function, you get the same function. EX differentiation, EX. But you have to differentiate 6 separately. That is 6 multiplied that particular number. In that way, also you can easily remember that is the E6X. The answer is here 5B, 12B, 6X. 5C, negative power, d by dx, no difference. 3 is a constant. E to the power minus 5x, e to the power minus 5x, multiplied by minus 5, right? Here k is a minus 5, e to the power k is a minus 5. And then you can multiply by minus 5. Finally, 5 by 3, 15 minus 15, e to the power minus 5x is the answer. Or you can leave it as minus 50 divided by e to the power 5x in positive power. The answer is given in that way. It is also correct, no difference. I think you have already now finished the first exercise. Remember, the first category of exercise, a very elementary one. And now we have finished. I just leave it maybe 2 minutes. Just if you want to copy or take some photograph of it, it doesn't take much time. But when you are writing down, require some time to copy. Right? These are the correct answers for the question number 5. Part B and C. Part A in the previous slide. Now there are some questions. Are there? 6, 7, 8. 6A. Simple. Now these questions are exponential and the log function. Remember ln x differentiation 1 upon x. Very simple. For is a constant. Ln 9x, whatever the constant here, ln ax, differentiation 1 upon x. Another meaning, if we differentiate the ln 9x, 1 upon 9x, multiply by 1, you differentiate 9x, you get 9. That is 1 upon 9x multiplied by 9. Then 9 will be cancelled, you get 1 upon x. Both ways you can use, either use this standard formula on the some of this first formula. ln x differentiation 1 upon x, right? 6b difference of the two exponential functions ex minus e to the power minus x. You can do it separately. You can differentiate separately because you can take a half as a constant. Ex differentiation same function. The second part you have to differentiate e to the power kx. K is a minus one. What is the differentiation of e to the power kx? K e kx. That's what we get the minus e minus x. Same function that we will multiply by minus 1. Because so many minus are there, we have to be very careful. Can you understand? This differentiation, no different. Ex is the same, ex. Minus sign is there. Ex differentiation, you get the same function, right? But when you differentiate the minus, then you get minus 1. We have to multiply only that particular part with minus 1. Then finally, this minus 1 become plus 1. Final answer is half ex plus e minus 6. Actually, what is this? Yes, the earlier question is here, the minus, that become plus here. That is only difference. Actually, some people are waiting to, the write down everything. That means you are not done your homework, remember. You are not done your homework. If you are not employed, you have, the entire 5 days to do these things. There may be some other subjects also, but you can actually, why don't you spend maybe one or 2 hours to do the exercises? Even you are taking photograph means you are not done the exercises. Now, if you study in this manner, I don't know whether you can get through the module. Remember, this by looking at the your photograph or whatever, you will not be able to understand. You have to do it. You have to do it, and when I show the answer, then correct your answer. That is the method, right? But that nowadays most students are very lazy, right? You are not following your. I don't know whether that's why in semester 2 module many students repeat. It doesn't matter to me how many times you have to repeat unless you get the adequate marks. Don't expect any grade. Remember, maybe repeat, maybe fail. I don't know. But you have to do that's what I previously can remember. I stopped early because I didn't prepare the answers to show you. With the face-to-face session, I can write on the board now. But yeah, you need some time to prepare the answers. These are just not try to later writing. No, equation editor, so it has to be used to prepare these answers. I am only teaching only this particular subject. I can have to manage, but the other courses, you have to prepare so many material, not only the material for you. What I can understand is you are not doing you are by taking the photograph of the slide, you are not done the answers. Right? If you are supposed to take in photograph every time with the answers, you never learn mathematics, right? You have to do exercise yourself and get the answers because that's what is when I copy, they even take these are some textbooks exercises. That's what the answers also there. So why don't you do it and to check the answers? That's the way you have to learn. Remember. Actually, I don't like to teach, the student like you sometimes. So you are not doing the pathology, but other some part-time students, the DST and CTR, they are very good. Their basic knowledge also very good, but they are doing all their homework. Remember, But in the ICT student, I don't know what they are doing. But I don't like to teach, remember. I just want to finish my assignment. That's what I am doing, remember. I am trying to finish my assignment as soon as possible. Actually, I don't want to continue these conduct lectures in remember. I'm not even worried about their visiting payments and all that. I'm doing it only because I have already assigned this duty to complete. That's what I am doing, remember. That's what I am doing. Whether actually online payment, I don't know whether they made or not, university. That's why some lecturers even not doing the do you know that some lecturers are not doing the online session because university is not taken firm decisions whether they can pay order because we are delivering from our home. Remember, we are delivering from our home, our using our internet facilities and all other facilities. But how many of you are using the our effort? That's the thing. I am really disappointed about even to teach the universities, particularly the University of Vocational Technology. Right? That's what I'm telling so many. I just want to stop this assignment as soon as possible. I finish this assignment, the modules, even what we call the integration and the vector calculus, vector analysis, vector algebra. Then I finish my duty. Then if they ask, then prepare assignment. I give you assignments as well as the final semester examination papers. That is up to you to answer and get ready for the answers, right? Okay, now quickly go through. And this is the answers for the first two. Question number 7 now coming. That's another part. Another part is part C of 6, right? It's part 6. Before you differentiate, if you know the formulas, actually there are certain formulas to be discussed today, remember. That's the product formula and the quotient formula. The product means the product of the two functions. Quotient means the division, one function divided by another function, like this. The one function, 1 minus square root of divided by x. This is a quotient. But still we have not discussed the formula. Remember, we have not discussed the formula. Therefore, you have to use some different method. Some exercises, you have to definitely use the formula. Other method cannot be applied like this. But this exercise has been given, before the teaching the quotient formula. Therefore, another method also available. That's what they describe the other method. Just simplify first. How can I apply the formula for this function? There's no way. See, actually, what are the familiar formulas yet? X to the power n, ex, ln x, and some trigonometric function. That is all. Remember. So far we discussed x to the power n, how to differentiate, ex function, that is exponential function, ln x function, that is a logarithm, then sine cosine, that is all we did. How can I do this particular? I have to simplify, the separate it like this. This is 1 upon x minus square root of x divided by x. 1 upon x means x to the power minus 1. See, still we are in a position to convert this particular one to the index form. X minus then square root of x divided by x. I know some of you don't find it difficult to get the answer. No? But this x is 2 times square root x minus square root x. No, one is cancelled. This is 1 upon square root of x. Now again, this has to be converted as an index. What is 1 upon x to the power half? No, 1 upon x to the power half. That is x to the power minus half. This is the I still see that how many steps? 1, 2, 3. Not the differentiation, only this conversion, some different way. So that differentiate the function. Finally, we get x to the power minus 1 minus x to the power minus half. Remember, when it comes to the practical situation, the different kind of function you might get. Any engineering, ICT, of course, you are study in highest level ICT. There's so many applications are there in calculus. Remember. Therefore, when you differentiate something, you have to do precisely. Now, this convert the formula, then now differentiate x to the power minus 1, minus 1 x to the power minus 1 minus, but n x n minus 1. Here n is the minus 1. I don't think I need not to explain, the like this because we have used formula several times now. N x n x to the power n, n x n minus one times minus one. Then here uh, n is a minus half x minus half minus one. Now simplify. Here the minus 1 x to the power minus 1 minus 2. Here minus, again minus half x to the power minus half minus 1 means 3 by 2. Then further simplify. This is minus 1 upon x to the power 2. This is minus plus x to the power minus 3 by 2 divided by 2. Then again we can simplify. The this one and this one no difference, same, right? Finally, you get a minus 1 upon x squared, minus 1 upon x squared, and here this could be written as a 2 square root of 3. No, this x to the power 3 by 2 mean 1 upon x to the power 3 by 2. That can be written like this. 3 by 2 means the third square root of the x3, square root of the x3. Some students convert other way. Remember, this is not the third square of the x square. This is the square root of the x3. This two is this particular constant. Remember, this particular constant. You see the answer there? Minus 1 upon x square plus 1 upon 2 square root of 2 square root of x3. See the answer? That answer is correct. If you just want to note down, actually you should have done this one. You only take the purpose of the in this one. Check your answers. Check your answers. If you made a mistake anywhere here, you can correct it. Then only you can learn. Remember, then only you can learn by taking photograph or noting down what is here. You can't learn. That's what I give this exercise early. Ask you to do early. But I can't feel you are not doing any homework, right? But anyway, that's your duty, I am just doing my duty and I finish it, right? Just write down there so many, the fraction there. Don't do any mistake when you are copying. Either if you do any single mistake, any of these steps, because it is complex, minus everywhere, the this application of this fractions, powers of fractions, minus negative most of the time. There's a tendency of doing mistakes. There's a tendency of doing mistakes. That's what you have to improve your mathematics knowledge. I have explained from the semester one onwards now. But everybody, taken these are very lightly. Okay, just give you a few minutes. You want to write down. You want to write down, you can actually understand and remember, right? Now, even by looking at the answer from the PowerPoint slides, hard copies, you will not be able to understand. You have to do it and yourself. I'll give you some time if you want to just copy it correctly, these things. I don't know, how long does it take to start the face-to-face sessions? I think the first this week onwards, the school started today for some classes, many classes, of course. No? The school reopened for many classes. I think university, actually I didn't get any, the information from the university side whether how long it take to start the face-to-face session. Because other people are in real danger. Remember, other people maybe many percentage, doesn't matter. Actually, in my side, we are not really worried about. If they fail, maybe out of 60, maybe 50 fail. I leave it like that. I'm not going to change the result. Remember, when the semester examination held, I marked this as answer sheet, and whatever the mark you obtain, I give. Right? Doesn't matter how many fail. I am not really worried about those matters. But I am not going to give any pass or any grade unless you know they have the competency at the required level. Not only this university, even other institutes also, very students actually participating in these sessions. I know some information from the University of Kerala because my son is in the staff there. He is also complaining, there is very few students attending the lectures when they conduct online sessions. While others copying down, just observe the question number 7. The find the gradient is a practical one. It's not the differentiation even term you choose. No. Find the gradient of the curve. Actually, what is the now differentiate divided by divided? Now we don't do it. Without knowing really what it is. The divide by dx is the meaning because what is the mean? Actually, engineering two meaning. The rate of change of one variable respect to other. For example, rate of change of resistance with respect to temperature, right? That is suppose dt by dt. T is the temperature, T is the resistance. Sorry, dr by dt. Rate of change of resistance with respect to temperature, dr by resistance, dr by dt, the temperature. You have to apply that kind of thing, that one way. Another one is graphical mean is the gradient of the curve at that particular point we draw in the graphical form. The graphical form, the gradient of the tangent drawn at the particular point is give the du by dx value. It's a practical value. Actually, the same meaning, the rate of change is also the same. When it comes to application, actually you can see some application later on. Even the alternative current theories, some sine wave is current is a sine wave. The function when given, you have to differentiate so precisely to get some other values. Maybe some voltage calculations and all that. You are not allowed to do any mistake because if you incorrectly calculate the voltage or maybe the current for some application, if suppose you incorrectly calculate, the finally end up with a disaster. No, you have to so precise this calculus. Next exercise, the graphical one, but the variable is not the x, variable is t. Find the gradient of the curve. The curve is given at point 0, 4 and 2 points. How to calculate the gradient? Find the dy by dt here. Remember, we have to calculate dy by dt here. Dy by dt because they have the expansion. No? Dy by dt. Then you have to calculate when gradient when t is the first part when t is 0. Right? T is 0. The value is not necessary to calculate the gradient. No, this function only the with the t. No, this is not the what you call the implicit function. If it is implicit function, there may be y also some in the right hand side also. Mathematics, implicit function even differentiation you need not to familiar. But other courses they have. When x equals 0, it should be answer is -1. When it is 1, it's 16. Right? We go through it now. Now it is just time enough to copy. Question number 7. This is a function, right? This is a function. Differentiate to constant t for differentiation for t3. I did not to explain the formula again, right? T is a constant. T3 differentiation 3 2 squared minus T differentiation 1. 4 differentiation 0. I didn't put the 0, right? Then this is a differentiation, simplify 8 T3 9 T squared 1. You want to calculate this is a gradient. Remember, gradient for any t value. It's a curve, no? It's a kind of a curve because the point to point gradient is changing. That is the gradient. Gradient is the function of t. For different t value, different gradient will be getting or different rate of change. So you want to calculate the point 0, 1. 0, 1 can what is the coordinate? Yes, no, x no. X is a t. T0, y4. What is it? See, this is how normal we write it, right? dy by dx when t equals 0. First point t0, 4. We have to the t value, x value, the t value 0. When t is 0, that is only -1. See, you see the answers also there, no? Correct answer is -1. When it comes to the second part, when dy by dx equal 1, because other point is 1, 8. 1, 8. T value is 1. We have to substitute t is 1. Other value is the y value. The y value is not required here. Even though specify given. To simplify, 8, 9, -1, 17, -1, 16. See the answers, -1, 16. One gradient is the -1, other gradient is the rate of change. You see the even for the different values, the rate of change also different. Sometimes the growth, sometimes the decay, sometimes increase, sometimes decrease. Here negative value. I think the last one is the next one also same. Different, slightly different. See? While others write down, they just explain the number 8 quickly. Find the coordinate. Now this is different one. Find the coordinates of the point on graph. This is a graph given. This is a quadratic function. Where gradient is 2. Remember, we have to find out the point, the coordinate of the point where the gradient is 2. The gradient is given as a 2. Now, how to calculate gradient of this one? Find dy by dx first. See, this is one, this is dy by dx. This is dy by dx. 10x minus 3. See, the gradient in terms of the x, 10x minus 3. But in this case, you want to calculate specific gradient is 2. Now, just put equal to. So 10x equal 5, x equal half. Now you can see the gradient is 2 when x equal half. That means when x is a 0.5 point, at that point the gradient is 2 because this is the gradient. Can you understand now? The gradient is so dy by dt, right? Dy should be, I don't know, it should be dx, right? So maybe it's dy by dx. This is not the t. Maybe in the previous one I just used, right? It's a dy by dx. Remember, dy by this just not t because I just used the previous formula when copy. I forgot to change this one. Dy by dx here, 10x minus 3. So equal, put it equal to because gradient is 2 given. So 10x equal 5, x equal half. So we can calculate. So when x equal half, what is the y value? When x equal half means 0.5, substitute the x here to get the y value. Half is a 0.5, no? 5. X squared means 0.5 squared, 0.25 minus 3 x mean the 5 plus 1. Simplify. You get all finally 0.75 is 3 by 4. So therefore the coordinate is x is half, y is 3 by 4. See the answers given in the textbook also correct. Now you have to get the answers like that. Remember, these are not any difficult thing because this is the simplification, just something similar to the mathematics we studied in the first semester. Remember, only the different part here, dy by dx, how to calculate dy by dx. That's all. I think that part is finished. Remember, that part is finished. Remember, if you see your past papers by this time, I can collect the past papers for the semester to ICT to the new syllabus. Remember, this has been implemented from 2017 onwards. Remember, previous past papers are not valid. ICT 1 and 2, I think from 2017 onwards. Right? Remember, obtain the past papers ICT 2 and go through the calculus questions. If you see the calculus question there, actually you see very simple thing, very simple. Very complex, the question is not due for the ICT students. You need not much calculus, but other students, they might get some complex question. As far as calculus is concerned, the volunteer bomb to Rasaki, no bomb, the Kerungan is the lunatic on the Jan. Remember, this notes has been prepared for some notes for all the courses. Therefore, there are some complex questions also included. I'll show you at that time. You need not to worry about that particular question. I show you what are the things to have your attention, right? Only that particular question. Not don't do the difficult one, because if you see your past papers, frequently you get the simple questions. I think this part is finished. I think. Okay, now go to the next. There are some more questions. I think you might have these things, no? You must have these things yourself, because this is a new handout, original handout. Question number. I thought it is finished, but there are some more. I think some of these also answers are there. I don't know how many of you have done it. If you see your past paper, you won't get this kind of. It's not difficult, but this kind of lengthy questions. This function consists of many, theta, ln, cos, sine, everything, and exponential function also included. See? This is the separately you can differentiate part by part using the formula given. Remember, number 9. Number 9. Okay, now questions are there. No, just take the answers. This question number 9 here. This is the before you differentiate. Remember, if you have done it, then only you can check, right? If you have done these exercises, then only you can check. So some people are just waiting to write down things. Remember, you're writing down, you cannot learn. You have to do it yourself. I mentioned several times, remember. You're writing different way, otherwise you will not be able to use the formula. In the index form, remember, you can't differentiate when the function 2 to the power theta is squared. Write it 2 t to the power minus 2, 2 ln theta, no different there. Sine function you can write as it is. Then the final minus 2, 1 upon e to the power 3 to the e to the power 3. Now you can start differentiating. Now you can start divide by d theta, because variable is theta now. 2 times e to the power minus 2 t to the power minus 3, n is n minus 1. Then you differentiate the 2 is 2 here. ln 2 theta differentiation 1 upon theta. Then you get 2 by theta. No problem up to this. Leave the 2 constant. Differentiate the inside function, trigonometric function. Cos 5 theta minus 5 sin 5 theta. Here you have the 3 constant there. Sin 2 theta differentiation 2 cos 2 theta. 2 cos 3 theta, because of the 3, that gives 6. 6 cos 2 theta. Here I just again the one step I reduce. Minus 2 is a constant. E to the power minus theta differentiation you get e to the power minus 3 theta multiplied by 3. Multiplied by 3 multiplied by 2 minus 2 you get plus 6, right? That's what I just reduce one step, because you can understand it. No? The minus become plus, that's what become plus here. So when you differentiate e to the power minus 3 theta, it gives minus 3 e to the power 3 theta. Minus 3 e to the power 3 theta. That minus 3, this minus 2 become plus 6. Right? That's how we get the second line. Third line, just little bit simplified. No, remove the brackets. Remove the brackets. That's all we did here. Here minus 4 t to the power minus 3, 2 by theta, 10 5 theta, minus 12 theta. The answer is given in, the evaluate dy by theta when theta is pi by 2. Correct to 4 significant figures. Correct to 4 significant figures. Can you see now? You know the dy dx actually answer is not given because you want to calculate evaluate dy by theta. This particular one, when theta is a pi by 2. Remember pi by 2 is a radian angle given in radian. Correct to 4 difficult figures. Actually answer is given. Sorry, answer is there, no differentiate. See the answer? You can take the answer. See, -4 divided by theta 3. That is first one correct, no? Minus theta to the power 3 means the same thing, no? Then 2 by theta. Then 10 sine 5 theta minus 12 cos 2 theta. Then 6 divided by e to the power 3 theta. That's same thing, right? That answer is correct. Actually, I didn't correct find the values step by step because that you can do it if you have the scientific calculator. Remember, you have to do it when theta is 5. Just substitute value theta is a 1.57. If you have scientific calculator, check yourself and get this answer. Remember, because you have to when you calculate the sine value with the calculator. Remember, when you calculate the sine value with the calculator, set your calculator to radian first, then multiply by 5 times 1.57. Then use the calculator to get the value and simplify. Then you get actually this particular 222.3. Once you simplify and you get it's up to the differentiation I have completed. It's a calculation. This is simple calculation. No, you have to do it yourself. Sometimes, if you want, I can do maybe the second one. I just want to be my calculator. Yeah, right. Okay, now go to the. Now just I leave it sometime. Just write down. I just want to stop for a few minutes. I just want to bring calculator because for the next one, I just want to give the answer also, right? Okay, now we continue. I just want to just with my calculator, the mobile phone to some equation. I think you must do try check the answer. I think this you can easily do it. I don't like to spend so much of time about this simple calculation, right? I'll go to the next one. The next one, the answer is, but this one is not given, right? But we have to do it now because in this slide is not given, answer is not given. Therefore, just able to just take your a piece of paper and try to get the answer here, right? Try to get that, just differentiate the function. Just because answer is not given in the slides, I didn't prepare because in the simple one, no. But we have to do it and try to get this particular answer using calculator. That's also important. The aspect everybody should practice. Just read the question. Evaluate ds by dt. Maybe the what is the maybe sometimes it's not the real practical application, but rate of change of phase with respect to d. T is actually the kind of angle. See, T is a kind of angle. It's a pi by 6, 30 degrees in the angle. Correct to 3 significant figures. Evaluate ds by dt when t is pi by 6, given that sc equals 3 sine t minus 3 square root of t. Now everybody just write the function, right? Because answer is not given here. Answer is not given here. Just write sc equals 3 sine t minus 3 plus square root of t. Right? Just write it. In my pen or something. Right? You can now. I'll read these steps. I'm not writing any. I don't have. I didn't pen here. Just write it. Sc equal 3 sine t minus 3 plus square root of t. Just write the same function. Now calculate what is the ds by dt. Now write what is ds by t. I'll read, right? Now calculate ds by dt. Ds by, because variable is a t. What is the ds by dt? Now 3 sine t differentiation, t is a constant, sine t differentiation, cos t, right? 3 cos t. Right now, 3 cos t. So simple, that's what I didn't prepare, right? But you have to do it yourself. Minus 3 differentiation, 0. Minus 3 differentiation is 0. Here first one 3 cos t. Second this one 0 plus what is the square root of t mean? T to the power half. Remember, t to the power half. When you differentiate, what do you get? Half t, half minus 1. Half t, half minus 1. Right? Half t, half minus 1. You can write the next line, ds by dt equal, ds by dt equal, right? Everybody should follow the instruction, right? ds by dt equal 3 cos t. How to simplify the half t minus half mean 1 upon 2 t to the power half, no, that is square root of t. Now finally you get the differentiation in this form. Here narrated ds by dt equal 3 cos t plus 1 upon 2 square root of t, right? 1 upon 2 square root of t. Now everybody should have that particular line. If I use the different slide, I can show you. I just use it. I think you can just open new slide. I show you. Maybe some space I use, right? I just maybe some space I use to type that answer. I should get like my type. I just write at the bottom of the screen y equal normally I just use the formula normally I am using, but I am not using formula in it. But 3 just 3 cos t 3 cos t then plus in make it t no 3 cos t plus, as you can see the screen, no, what I am typing 3 cos t plus 1 upon, just use the equation editor. So you can understand when prepare how difficult these things, writing down these things, they have to this to the editors. 1 upon here you get 2, then square root of 2 square root of x. So 2 square root of t. Right. I just can you see this particular part now? Everybody can see. Now this is your answer. Remember, this is your answer. We'll differentiate the not the y. It's a dy by dx. Right? This is not the dy. This is of course not the y. This is equal. I just want to just give the function dy by dx. That's ds by dt. You know, you have to edit that one also. ds by ds by dt. ds, but everybody should follow the instruction, right? Now see the ds by dt value. Everybody should get this particular because the answers are not prepared in the one, but you have to do it now because so simple compared to this previous one. Now see ds by dt. Evaluate ds by dt correct to three significant figures when t equal pi by 4, given that s equals 3 sin t minus 3 square root of. Now this is the differentiation of that one. Ds by dt equal 3 cos t, 3 is a minus, plus square root of t differentiation half t minus half, that is 1 upon square root 1 upon 2 square root of t. Is it correct now? Right. Now I am going to write to the same line answers also, right? Now what is the t by 5? T by 5, just you have to write. I'll calculate, use the calculator and show you what is the t by 5. T by t value. T value just calculate. Just show you. 5 by 6, no? Pi is the 22 upon 7. Remember, pi is the 22 upon 7. Therefore, 22 upon 42, no? 22 divided by 42. That value just write, everybody. Here you get the, just put a comma here, right? Just put a comma here. you get the t value, t equal 0.52. That's the t value in radian. Can you see the value now? Just t value is 0.52. Now substitute the t is 0.52 in this equation, right? The mama line again right? Now t value is 5 by 6 mean radian. 5 means the 22 upon 7. No? Therefore, 22 upon 42, that will give the t.52. That's the value. Now use the calculator. I'll show you how to use the calculator also. When you calculate the cos t value, then note 3 multiplied by cos 0.52. I'll just show you, right? Like previous day. Just show you, just look at the photograph, then you can see the radian settings. It's a radian setting, right? It's a radian setting. Radian setting, you have to apply that one. Then I will just show you after typing the cost function. The cost value you want to recalculate cost 0.52. 0.52. I see the, if you can see the calculator, 0.52 cost 0.52 value is 0.8 something. No, can you see? That is, I just write the value. Cos 3t is 0.87 decimal places, right? 0.872 decimal places. And then plus mark, is it clear? Now cost when t equal 5t, cost 5.52 is 0.87. Then you have to evaluate this particular function. Remember, this function you have to evaluate. I just show you the values in the equation editor. That is 1 upon, so here 1, right? 1 upon 1 divided by. Remember what is the value? You have to calculate the square root of t, multiply by 2. I'll do the calculation from the calculator I give you. If you have a calculator, you can do it. First find square root of t. Square root of 0.52. You have to calculate square root of 0.52. Square root of 0.52, that will give 0.72 or something like 72 and 11 and all that. That number has to be multiplied by 2. That number has to be multiplied by 2. Sorry? Can you understand now? And now this is 1.44. 1.44. See? 1.44. Now you can get the answer easily. Simplify this equal. Step by step we do the calculation now. 3 times. Even normal calculator you can use it, right? Normal calculator. 3 times. 3 times 0.87. 0.87. Yes, that is 2.61. This is 2.61 plus 1 upon 1.44. 1 divided by 1.44 to decimal places, that is 0.69. 0.69. 0.69. 0.69 appear in the other line, right? You can see the screen now. 2.61, 0.69. What is the addition of the particular 2? 0.69 plus 2.61. 2.61. You see the answer 3.30. You get the answer 3.30. The answer is to 3.29. No, because we have calculated 2 decimal places, right? That's this is the important thing. Just one of the you want to emphasize. Which is a practical application. You have to differentiate correctly and substitute the value correctly and get the answer, because you are not allowed to do any mistake. See, there's no mistake in calculation because you get the same answer given, 3.29. If you calculate all that in maybe 4 decimal places, actually you might get a 3.29 because we calculate 2 decimal places in nearest now. Therefore, you get the 3.30. No difference, right? This is how even the answers are not there in the question number 10. And now you can understand how to do it. There are so many things you have to use calculator, because exponential function, ln function, when practical applications, the ln function, exponential function values has to be read from the calculator. That's what the even semester 2 onwards and semester 1 also, the calculators are allowed in the examination of the mobile phone versions. We have to have the calculator, scientific calculator, because sometimes the calculations, I am not going to say with this particular thing, right? Just I can delete that everybody. Some not responding there. Sometimes the PowerPoint is not responding, I just wait. I don't apply any command. I don't yes. You have to quickly go through the other slides. Maybe this part is finished. Remember, after using formula, now go back. We go to the this one now. I think it's not necessary to open the slideshow mode. Everybody can see the screen clearly. Now the differentiation of products. One step ahead. Remember, the one step ahead now. So far, we use the elementary function, standard derivatives, but that's not enough. We have to practice how to differentiate the product. Now, for a product means, for example, x to the power 3 multiplied by sin x. Likewise, x to the power x squared multiplied by sin x. How to differentiate? Two functions of x, the product of the two functions. Then you have to use the formula. This is the formula. Y equal uv. Y equal uv. Some I just calculate. Good, very good. This is a formula. Dy by dx equal u dv by dx plus v du by dx. Even this formula actually can be proved using the first principle. Remember, we are not going to discuss the theory part that much, because your requirement is use this knowledge to solve problems in engineering. That's it. You are not supposed to be a mathematician or anyway. You need to prove this formula. Remember formula, the product formula, dy by dx equal, when the y is a uv. Remember uv, both x function of x, like u can be x squared, v can be sin x, cos x, ex, whatever, likewise. So u dv by dx plus v du by dx, this formula, and you have to remember and there's no any other alternative, right? I think after that, some examples. See this example. Better to see the example in the slideshow view, because otherwise it is. See the example, first example. Now we are actually, the progressing to some level, 3x squared multiplied by sin x. See the two function, product of the two function. 3 squared is the one function. Sin x is sin 2x is another function. You can just all the information are given. 3x squared and sin 2x is the product of the two terms, 3x squared and sin 2x. Let you can give you u as the 3 squared and v as the sin 2x. See here. Now we assume take u as the 3x squared, v as a sin 2x. Now after that, remember when you do exercise yourself, you are now today with the pages of some blank sheet, you have to follow this particular method. Write the equation first, formula first. This will help you to eliminate doing some mistakes. So dy by dx equal, this is a formula, u dv by dx plus v du by dx. Now substitute the values, but at one step, straight away differentiation given, remember, because so far we are familiar, u is a 3 squared. Here dv by dx, what is v? V is a sin 2x. Sin 2x differentiation has to be put there, dv by dx. Sin 2x differentiation, 2 cos 2x. Without any mistake, you're right. Then plus v is a sin 2x, other function. Du by dx, what is u? 3 squared. What is the 3 squared differentiation? 3 is a constant. X squared is a 2x, that is 6x. No? ඔයාලා මේ වෙනකොට මේ වගේ සරලව හදලා ගන්න පුළුවන් වෙනවා 3x squared differentiation නිකම්ම 6x නේ එන්නේ 3 constant x squared 2x එතකොට 3යි 2යි 6යි x දැන් මේක ඉතින් ගොඩක් සුළු කරන්න බෑ you can just simplify as much මතක තියාගන්න සමහරු කරන වැඩක් තමයි මේ 2x මේ 6ෙන් වැඩි කරනවා 6x වලින් වැඩි කරලා දිනවා sin 12x squared. That is completely incorrect. Remember, sin function is a separate thing. You can combine sin function with the other algebraic function. A 6x is an algebraic function. A sin is a trigonometric function. How can you combine these 2x and 6x? So, it's not very, some students do, of course. Some are doing. You can bring 6x in front of the sin 2x. That can be possible. See? Finally, you get the here just use the pointer so they can see this step I am highlighting. There's a pointer. See 3 squared by 2. एक बारी करना පුළුවන් 6 squared cos 2x plus sin x 6x sin 2x. That is the answer. Finally, actually, you can just take the 6x out. This is the final answer. So another one there. This is next column, another one. Another. I think in your sheet, these are there. Remember, these are there. It's not necessary to explain too much because everybody assume having the hard copies. I think you have already go through. Just explain, right? Two functions. What are the two functions? One is a 3 square root of x. Other one is a ln 2x. So take u. Yes, u as a 3x squared means 3x to the power half. V is a ln 2x. Now write the formula. Write the formula. Like this cannot be the simplified in greater detail. They just to leave it some space. Maybe even you can stop in the second line because you can't simplify too much. U is a 3 square, 3 to the power 3x to the power half. So dv by dx. We say ln 2x. Ln 2x differentiation 1 upon x. So log function differentiate kara 1 upon x. Log ax function eketh inne 1 upon x mai. So therefore log 2x also 1 upon x. We say ln 2x. So du by dx here. U is the 3x to the power half. Differentiation method 3 is a constant half x half minus 1. You can understand or just to simplify things. No? You can just get this answer, right? This answer you can get. But remember, today, of course, you have to do some exercises yourself because this is a new part. You see the formula. This is a product formula so far. And we are supposed to discuss even the quotient formula also. Remember, we are supposed to use the quotient formula also. Okay, now we go for the next slide now. Next slide is some applications, some exercises you to do. Right now, tell me now. You will send messages. How many of you have done these exercises? Probably not. No, probably not because that part is not covered. No, the part now we have covered. Now the time. It doesn't matter. It takes maybe half an hour, maybe even more than that. Take one by one and do it yourself. Solution will be given later. They are not later today. After you have done at least one by one. Now take the first one. Because you need not to wait until the check you answer because answer is here. I will show you the method sometimes, right? So first one I'll show you. Do the other thing. First one, this one x2x3 cos 3x. This is the correct answer. Correct answer is the differentiation. This one. For each question, the correct answer is given. Remember, question 5 is not for you, right? Question 5 is that is for the other courses because you are not practiced the three functions. Product of the three functions. Yes, et ln t cos t. This is the function. If you just can understand, the answer is there, solution is there, but it's not necessary to remember because this function normally for the other engineering courses. Even the 6 and 7 you can do because these are application. Remember, the question number 6 is the application in current, the real application. The alternative current theories. I normally can be expressed. The current can be expressed 15 in as a sine function, sine 3t. 15t, this is one kind of situation, right? 15t sine 3t. I measured in amperes. I measured in amperes. The t is the t seconds. T second actually the 3t that is finally actually the t second actually the real number, no? Measured in radians, the sign in radian. Normally t is 0 1 maybe in seconds. That second is when calculating here the sine theta in engineering, theta every time measured in radian, whatever the time or this can be anything, right? We do this exercise also very important because we have to use the calculator. Practice, everybody should get these values in calculator because even the second one also, right? Now do the just show you the first one, right? So use the same method to do the other application, right? I just show you only one answer. I just give you some time. Do other exercises, then I'll give you answers after that because I think nobody done this because I didn't ask you to do because that part has not done early. No, this is the answer for the first one. Yes.
Sir, can you show a previous slide, the problem 10 answer, please?
Wait. Problem 10. This one. This is a problem 10, right? Actually, in this particular category, problem 9 is our first exercise. Problem 10 is the second exercise example, right? This is the just leave it for few minutes. That's what I didn't have to leave. But if you have the hard copy, you can have a look, no?
Yes, sir.
If you don't have hard, just I leave it some minutes if you want to even note down. So you can't note down all the right, but you have to have the hard copy, the you.
Okay, sir. Answer good.
Sorry?
Okay, sir. Answer good, sir. Okay.
You got no? Okay, now we can continue, right? So now this is step at this position. No? Now see the two functions, just step by step. But the equation 2x3 multiplied by cos 3x. Assume u as the 2x3, assume v as the cos 3x, that's all. And every time you do this kind of exercise, follow this step. This eliminating the possibility of doing mistakes. Dy by dx equal u dv by dx plus u v du by dx. That is the formula. U dv by dx plus v du by dx. This interchange is no problem. We can start v du by dx plus u du by dx, both same. Now put the appropriate values after the arrow, at the end of the arrow. What is, put the u here, put the dv by dx function. What is the differentiation? See, u is the same function 2x, now dv by dx. What is v? Cos 3x. Cos 3x differentiation minus 3 sine 3x. See, if you do it in the systematic manner, there's no way to do any mistake. So if you do in this manner, there's no way. So now type v is a cos 3x, that's the other function. Then du by dx, differentiation of the other function. What's the 2x3 differentiation? 2 is a constant, but the x3 differentiation 3x2, nx minus 1, 3x2, 3x2 by 2, 6x2. That's all. This is the most important step in the differentiation. Because if you made a mistake here, even the other steps also definitely mistake. You get the other part, simplify, multiplication and simplification. Very simple, just multiply. Minus 3 2x minus 6x3 sine 3x and then 6 squared times cos 3x. මේක මුලට ගන්න ඕන cx2 cos 3x. Now what you can do is just to take some factor out if you want. That's all. You can take the 6 squared as a one factor, and again this has been the first second term is right at first, right? Then within bracket cos 3x minus sin. When you have taken x2, 1x remaining, x sin 3x. This is the answer. If you see the answer in the right hand side also, you see the perfect answer, correct answer. No, 6x2 within bracket cos 3x minus x sin 3x. So these are this answer, the differentiation should be so precise. Using the rules, do it correctly. I just leave it a few minutes, right? Leave it few minutes. After this, you have to do, I give you maybe 15, maybe 20, half an hour to go through the other things, second one, third one, fourth one. Answers are there. You can check your answers. Now, if you find it difficult, solution in this particular pattern will be given, right? Solution will be given in this pattern. So stop maybe for 15, 20 minutes. Now just do it yourself, right? Do it yourself. If you have any question, just send it, as a message. You can give some messages. If you want to tell something, it's not difficult because of the here x to the power 3, you have to write in the proper manner. Remember, before you differentiate, square root of x3, that is x to the power 3 by 2. Remember, x to the power 3 by 2, not the x to the power just 3 by 2, not the 2 by 3. Okay, I leave it some time. Just I will maybe come back making 15 minutes. You must ready with the answers. Even remember, don't stop at this position. Maybe 5, 6, 7 also you can try, right? That's your time.
ළමයි දේපොතේ
මේ වහගෙන දීපන් වහ.
මොනවාදනේ මොන බ්‍රෑන්ඩ් එකද ගැමැක්සොන්ද රවුන්ඩ් අප් පාරක් ගමු එහෙනම් රවුන්ඩ් අප් තමයි හරියන්නේ
තේරෙන්නේ නෑ අප්පා මේක මේක උඹ දාදන්නේ අප්පා.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Nisa. මොකද්ද මම SD කියන්නේ?
SD?
ඔව් ඔය කලින්ද ගන්න XD කියලා ගන්න. ඔය කට වහගෙන ඉන්න වෙන්න පුළුවන්. ඒතර කට වහගෙන ඉන්න වෙන ගන්න කොටේ මන්ද?
කර මේ ඇම්ප් එකට ගහලා බෆල් එකට අයි කරන් හිටියේ ගම හෙල්ලුන උගේ හිනාවට.
මොන බලහන් කඩුවම එල්ලුවයකෝ පොළොන්නරුවේ.
පොළොන්නරුවේ ඉන්න මින් තමයි ඉතින් දවසකට හරි මිනිස්සු.
නෑ යප්පෙන්න එපා. UPF එකත් කරලා UNP එකත් කරලා යයි.
උඹලා UNP නේ. මොකද උනේ ඒකට?
අපි
ටෙලිෆෝන් එකට තමයි පාර. මයිත්‍රිගේ. මයිත්‍රී කදනද විදුසුන ආයතන.
අය මොනවද
මේක පටන් ගත්තොත් නම් හොඳයි හොඳයි පටන් ගත්තේ නැතොත් නම් ඉවරයි.
පටන් ගන්න කියුනේ බා. කොහොමද? උද්ඝෝෂණය කරමුද?
මං කියන්නේ ලෙක්චර් එක නෙමෙයි යකෝ. කැම්පස් ලෙක්චරේ පටන් ගත්තත් ඉතින් වැඩක් නෑ.
ගද්දා උනේ මොනවද? වල්රාණි ඉවරද ඒකලුනේ?
Okay, now I think someone who finished now. Someone just asked to someone asked to explain this one again. I don't know why it's required. This is just a formula, right? It's the product of the two functions. If you want to explain it again, you can send a message to explain it again. It's this is the product of the two functions. You know how to differentiate the 2x3 using the standard derivatives. The question also you can separately differentiate standard derivative. But if you have product like that, how to differentiate? That is the standard formula to differentiate the product. This is the correct formula. Actually, even though the proof is not given, this is the standard formula everywhere used. Engineering students are using this formula to differentiate products. Product means 2x3 multiplied by cos 3x. And you have to use the one function as a u, 2x3, other function as a cos 3x. Now use the formula. Formula means one is the same function here, but differentiation of the other function plus other function multiplied by the differentiation of the next function. U dv by dx, d multiplied by du by dx. Separated differentiations are here. U is still straight away, you can write the u here. dv by dx, what is v? V is this function, cos 3x. So cos 3x differentiation, we did there, cos 3x differentiation minus 3 sin 3x. That's what you get this part. The v function straight away you can write, that is cos 3x, but the differentiation of the other function, du by dx. U is the 2x3. So manually differentiate 2x3 differentiation is a 6x2. 2 is a constant, x3 differentiation 3x2, then the 6x2. Now after that, just to multiply and simplify. That is all. I just asked you to do. How many of you done the second one now? x3, x to the power square root of x3 and ln3. The answer is here. Actually, these answers cannot be too much simplified because completely different functions now. Some are arithmetic function, some are log function, some are sine for trigonometric function, some are exponential function, some are exponential function and the log function combined. There's no way to too much simplify. Actually, the answer should be getting this like this. Okay, by this time, at least one or two should be completed. No, that's the first, second one. That's what I sent this material early. You should be prepared, even go through the notes and to understand something. When I explain, the time you can clear your doubts. That's the thing. But without doing your homework, how can I help you, right? This is the question number 2. We have to write this x to the power square root of x to the power 3 in this like, right? X to the power 3 by 2, x to the power 3 by 2 multiplied by ln x, that is the function. Then take x to the power 3 by 2 as u, and we take v as a ln tx. Now write the formula. See the formula there. Now put the correct values. U means the same function, x to the power 3 by 2. So dv by dx. What is v? ln 3x differentiation 1 upon x. How many times, if you see the previous slides, the answer is there. Log function differentiation every time with the log x, 2x, 3x, 5x, whatever, you get the 1 upon x. Because the reason I mentioned log function differentiation every time 1 upon that function. Log 3x means 1 upon 3x. But we have to multiply that term by 3. Because when you differentiate 3x separately, that is you get 3, no? So 1 upon 3x multiplied by 3, you get this one. Come to this position, v is ln 3x. Multiply now differentiation of the x to the power 3 by 2, u function. You have to manually differentiate and put it here. What is the differentiation of the 3 by 2, x to the power 3 by 2? 3 by 2, x to the power 3 by 2 minus 1. 3 by 2 minus 1 is a half. That's what you get the half. Now one step has to be near the reduce here. Otherwise, I have to do all the things. No? Differentiation 3 by 2, x to the power 3 by 2 minus 1. 3 by 2 minus 1 is half. I think these are not very much simplified. See the finally you can get this here. Here x to the power minus 1, 1 upon x, x to the minus 1, so x to the power 3 by 2 means x to the power 3 by 2 minus 1, and that is x to the power half. The first part, this is like a first semester in the algebra index exercises. X to the power 3 by 2 multiplied by x to the power minus 1. Indexes will be adding, therefore half. Here, too much simplification cannot be done. Ln x 3 by 2 x half. Maybe one step further. Finally, you can take actually extra x to the power half. You can take out. See, x to the power you can take as a constant and factor out 1 plus 3 by 2 ln 3. This answer also same. See, x half means the square root of this x half means the square root. The answer in the given in that way. 1 plus 3 by 2 ln 3x. Did you get the answer? See the steps, everybody got the correct steps. Remember this, I mentioned 1,000 times. Without understanding these, there's no way actually to go ahead. No point even. Remember, actually at this level, you have to do some additional exercises also to understand these things. But even how many exercises I already given here, at least you should do these exercises. මේවා නිකන් කොපි කරගෙන ෆොටෝ එක ගත්තට ඉගෙන ගන්න බෑ වදේ you have to do it now. You can't let it late when the semester exam is. Sometimes maybe you can collect all the material. So when the semester exam comes, maybe 1 or 2 days, can you do it? Can you read and understand? Not possible, remember. That's the worst approach. Not the bad approach, worst approach, right? At the same time, understand and go ahead. I can remember when the time we learn, even schools and the universities, even higher education, we day to day, day by day, we have completed our work. Remember, we have understand everything and next lesson be ready. But you are not like that. No, you are even now studying. Even the answers and questions is even that allow us to do some exercises. I don't know how many should done it. Talk to me now. I will get the correct answer yourself. This copying is not help you anyway. Remember, writing down is not help you. I just explain. Normally when I teach a calculus for the other engineering courses, I need not to put this kind of effort, and not even because they, when I explain one, they can understand because they have the foundation. I don't know how these things continue maybe in the future. Otherwise, the syllabus has to be revised. The syllabus has to be revised based on the student level, not the degree level, right? So then you won't get the degree. You might get the diploma sometimes, right? So what about the next one? If you finish, I think I don't know how many of you get the correct answer. The answer is there, but you have to do and get the answer like this, step by step. The second one, E3T sine 40. The ample time is good. Already I give what is the time now? I think already half an hour, nearly half an hour. No? 10:40, yes. Nearly half an hour given to you to do. With the third one, so some are doing well. Some are they got all the answers. That's how other people also do. Remember, only one, not only one. Okay, everybody should do in that way. Remember, don't think these are the very difficult thing as far as the calculus is concerned. මේවා තාම calculus වල ABC මත තියන්නේ. This is only the elementary calculus. If you think about the scope of the calculus, entire scope of the calculus, now we are doing actually very elementary. Remember, how just separate it. E to the power 3t sine 40. You can remember when you are selecting UD, you can actually you can say U as the sine 40, V as the E3T, no problem because same ABA is same, no. But we can use what is at be first as a U function. What is appear next? The V function. Now this is a function. Now write the formula. But remember the differentiation you have to do separate, then put the value here. Because the sine 40 e to the power 3 differentiated we dt 30. Now see the answers. U is e to the power 3t. Differentiation of the V function, that is sine 5t, 4 cos 40. Sine function every time differentiation you get the cos function. Remember, that is sin s cos x. The same thing you can apply when it's even 40 also sine 40. Sine 40 you get cos 40. But it's not the x, no, it is the 40 and the differentiate the 40 you get 4. We have to multiply by that number. That's that we get the this 4. Remember, if it's a sine 5t, you get another 5 here. That's all. 4 cos 40, then V is a sine function sine 40, then differentiation of the exponential E3t. E3t, 3E3t, 3E3t. You should get additional 3 also. Then you know the only thing possibility is you can take the exponential function out as a factor, that's all. Then you get the answer. That are same answer here. That is a very simple one comparative to the previous one. E to the power 3t, 4 cos 40, 3 sine 40. That's how you practice, right? If you want to either take photos or you can take write down, just give me very few minutes before we go to, because so many things you're supposed to do. Actually, some part has to be completed today because can remember the previous day we stopped a bit early because I didn't prepare the answers for some of the questions. Now I think answers are adequately there, but some you have to do, right? Shall we proceed now? Number 4. E to the power 4 theta, ln 3 theta. This is not the x there, variable is theta, y and theta. Independent variable is theta, dependent variable is y. If you are putting the, according to the x-axis, we put theta or theta, we put theta, y-axis is the same y. Now write the formula. Now remember, this is not dy by dx, this time dy by d theta. Make sure it depends on the question. You have to change the derivative also. Dy by dt, the rate of change of y with respect to theta. Right? Rate of change of y with respect to theta. Even this formula also, it will change. U dv by d theta plus v du by d theta. What are the values? U is a 4 e 4 theta, v is ln 3 theta. So u is the same function. dv by d theta, ln 3 theta, 1 upon theta. Right? Plus, same plus mark, v is ln 3 theta. Then du by d theta, e to the power 4 theta, 4 e 4 theta. Then again, as you said as the previous occasion, just take a e 4 theta as one factor out. So 1 upon theta, 4 ln 3 theta. This same answer. See? Do you think it's different? Difficult? Not difficult. If you want to practice the calculus, you should do these things. When you come to the application, you realize why you are doing this kind of thing. There are so many practical values. They just leave it 3 minutes. Just one not done. You need to note down these things. Now this is it's a mandatory, right? If you don't like, you can forget it. Now this is the if the function is a UVW, actually we are not necessarily you are familiar, right? It's a three function product of the three function. The formula can be slightly changed like right? Product of any two multiply the differential with the other. Right? Product of any two mean UV or UW, UW, and differential of the other function. If it is UV, dW by dx, plus if it is UW, dU by dx. If it is VW, UW, dV by dx. This is how we differentiate the first one. It's not necessary. Because it's three function. ET one function, ln t is another function. Don't take ln is another function. ln t is a one function. Remember, log t, the middle one log t. Some confuse the four functions are there. ln is not the function. ln t is a function, one function. Then cos t. See the three? Et, ln t, cos t. These are the three functions. Then is UVW. These are the VW. Then the formula. Right? That also can understand. You can understand. Otherwise, you can just forget it because 6 and 7 we do very good. Should be familiar with the 6 and 7 with simple functions. Okay, now we continue. Now we have to differentiate it one by one. See the differentiation. Et is ln t cos t UVW. UV means product of the first two. See? The differentiate of the third one cos t minus sin t. UW ln t cos t. UW. Last two. ln t cos t. Differentiation with the du by dt. The same function. Et no et. UW means et cos t. Differentiation of the v function. V function is the ln t. 1 upon t. That's all. And you can't simplify in greater detail. Only the only the et is a common for everything. Et is a common. You can take et out, then you get the answer, right? You get the answer. Leave it 3 minutes. If you just want to maybe take some photo write down. One step may be there, right? No, one step. No, there's no one step there. Just leave it 3 minutes if you want to just. The same answer is given. Same answer may be in the answer column. Maybe rearrange in different ways sometimes. Now go to the next one, right? This is question number 6. Question number 6. Remember, variable is I. Some card you can't because I have some mistake in my desktop. The Nigeria. So I equal 15t sin t. So 15t sin 3t. Remember, I is a 15t. Just take as a 15t as a u, sin t as a v. Then differentiate. You get this one. No, very simple. UV. U 15t dv by dt sin 3t differentiation 3 cos 3t plus v is a sin 3t differentiation of the 15t is a 15 because it's in the variable dy by dt not x, right? Actually, this is actually a practical application. Remember, the alternative current theory, the current is in amperes, the T measured in seconds, right? T measured in seconds. Sine wave, a kind of sine wave, because it has the T associated, again, the kind of different, not the normal sine wave, because the T multiplied by sine 3T, different kind of, what is the finally we calculate the rate of change of current with respect to time. Remember, we are calculating the rate of change of current, I divided by T. That is the important in engineering. They may be very important. You want these values also getting maybe certain maybe voltage or some measure. Remember, this ratio also gives some measure. Rate of change of current. And this is a differentiation, right? This differentiation. Now to calculate, evaluate di by dt. This is important thing I mentioned. Di by dt correct to solve significant figures when t equals 0, 1. Substitute the t equals 0, 1. I think the answers may be there. This is the simplified version. 45t cos 3t. 3 times 15, 45t cos 3t. Here 15 sine 3. This is the final value of the dy by dt. Then we calculate, see the way when t equals 0, 1. T equals 0, 1. This is 45t become the 44.5 cos 0.3. Cos 0.3. Remember, you have to use the calculator with the radian measure. With the radian active, not the decrease. So when you have use the calculator, change the mode degree to radian. 0.3 sine 0.3. If you read the values, I need not to show you. We have know how to use the calculator. Scientific cos 0.3 is a 955 because this radian 0.3 very close to the 0, no? Very close to 0, small value. That's what the cos 0, 1, no? Cos 0, 1. Cos 0.3 is a 955, very close to 0, very close to 1. Sine 0.3, sine 0, 0, sine 0.3 is a 0.296. Then simplify, this is 4.2975. To multiply this two, if you multiply this on 15, you get 4.44. The finally answer is either it can be any units 8.73. Right? You get the correct answer. This is also important. The differentiation. Can you remember first semester when you discussed the formulae? Change of the subject of the formula and evaluate the formulae. Can you remember the elementary thing we practiced? Evaluate the formulae. Those days actually we didn't use the calculator, but when we come to the advanced mathematics, we have to evaluate the function with the d. Here they evaluate the di by dt, not the same, not the I, of course, right? Not the current. Di by dt. Even if you want to evaluate the current when t equals 0.1, you can calculate the current also in amperes. Remember, we have to put the t 15 times 0.1 sine 0.3. Then it will give the value in the current. When calculation here is the rate of change of current. When time is 0.1 seconds. Remember, that's a different thing here. Similarly, can't you do the next one? I'll give you a few minutes, right? Try yourself initially because the differentiation is simple. Remember, differentiation is simple. Try to get this answer. Now, if you can do it yourself, then only you can satisfy it. Then only you can satisfy you. I can understand what what the content so far discussed. I can understand, right? Try to get this answer. It doesn't matter how long it takes. You must do everybody. Because function is here y is not y is it given, doesn't matter, you can use any symbol. No, is it 2e 3t sine 2t. This function again time is 0.5 given that this function. Find out the dz by dt first. මේ වගේම dz by dt හොයන්න ඉස්සර හරියට formula use කරලා ඊට පස්සේ t එක t5 use කරන්න calculator පාවිච්චි කරලා you try to get this value. Right, I'll give you a few minutes. Just try to get this answer. Second one. Exactly same as the question number 6. Now I did question number 6. So everybody should be able to do. First, write the function is z equal to e3t sine 2t. Then take the first part as a u function, 2e3t. Take sine 2t as a v. After that, write the formula dy by dt, u du by dx plus v du by dx. Then put the appropriate differentiations and simplify before substituting the values. You can see the screen, the differentiation. The correct differentiation, if you done, I don't like even to continue without doing this exercise yourself. Just do and go ahead. V through t sine 2t, so this is u, this is v. Now function is u du by d. Someone given answer 18 point. This answer is incorrect. Some student given answer, that answer is not correct. We have to check, wait and see the right. Here, u is a 2e3t, dv by dt. V is this one, sine 2t differentiation, 2 cos 2t, no difference. Plus v is a sine 2t, substitute the values, that's all. Du by dt, differentiate the 2e3t function. 2 is a constant, e3t differentiation, e3t multiplied by 3. 3 by 2, you get 6 there, 6 e3t. Now you can take that simplify. It is a 4a3t cos 2t, 6c3t sin 2t. You can multiply these things. I mentioned that the scientific function should be separately. So if you want, you can just 3t out from the bracket. That can be possible. See the final line. E3t cos 4 cos 4t, 6 sin 4t. This is the correct differentiation. Remember, you cannot check the answer, the differentiation, because the differentiation answer is not given here. Because the question is evaluate the dz by dt, correct 4 significant figures. You know what is 4 significant figures? Means 4 positions. Including the whole number part also. This is two decimal with the 2 digits, right? That is 4 significant figures. Now finally, you should get this particular differentiation correctly. 4e3t cos 2t, 6e3t sin 2t. So you can take the 3t out as a factor, then you get e3t cos 4t, 6 sin 2t. This is the this bracket is not necessary, right? This bracket in front of 6 is not necessary. Maybe the accidentally that maybe I forgot to delete that fact. This bracket is not necessary. 4 cos 2t plus 6 sin 2t, then final bracket. When t equal 5, just write down. If you're not done, just leave it few minutes, right? Write down yourself. I don't like even to take in the shots on the screen that you can't learn. Even you writing something, you can understand and you can remember it. Understand the basic themes of the learning process, right? When you are writing and reading something, you can learn, right? But you are not, when you are taking photograph, you can learn the content. That is learning, one of the very bad habits now students practice. That is not belongs to learning process. Remember, if you are reading something, if you are hearing something, if you are reading something, if you are writing something, or if you are teaching something, you can learn. Those are the learning formats, right? You can hearing, you can reading, you can listening, you can writing, but taking notes also you can learn. I don't like some of the student habits. That's what the level of the student knowledge, the coming down to this level. Remember the traditional days when we learn, actually we doing the best thing is do yourself and understand. Actually, when we, for example, study for the higher studies in mathematics, a degree and higher degrees, there are many formulas, even you can imagine now. It's very big formulas. You can't, there's no way to remember, by looking at the formula, or maybe the taking photograph of the formula, or maybe writing down. You have to solve problems using that formula many times. Then only automatically the formula can be remembered. He also say even the basic formula also, if you want to remember, you have to do so many exercises, even just before the examination. Do all the past papers. Likewise. By reading the solution, you will not be able to understand. Right? And then other, the new techniques in learning, the modern, even Sri Lanka very rarely apply those techniques. The space learning. I apply it when I teach something space learning. Repetition. The lecturer will repeat the same thing several times. Automatically you can remember a lot. See now this is the answer for the. Okay, shall we go ahead? I can just write down, no? The substitution, the same line. Now substitute the values. T equal 0.5. 0.5 e to the power 1.5. Cos 2t is cos 1 sine 1. Right? Now use remember these are not the degrees, radians. Use the calculator. Even for the exponential e to the power 1.5, use the scientific calculator to calculate the exponential function. You can understand why the scientific calculators include these functions, just to see the function. So many application in engineering. That's what the even the software calculator or the manual calculator. These functions are not only cosine, ln function also available. If you see the scientific calculator user interface, you see all the functions are there. As I mentioned previously, if you see the user interface, see, all the functions are there. Even you can use the exponential calculation, all the things you can do. I'm not going to show one by one how do you get this, and that is up to you, right? You open the exponential function, type 1.5, e to the power 1.5, then it will give the answer 4.48. Cos 1 is a 5403. 6 times sine 1 is this number, 0.8 something. I just show you some of the students give the response. Answer is 18.39. That's incorrect. No, 18.39 is incorrect. Maybe they check your answer. Maybe your differentiation may be incorrect. If you made any single mistake here, remember, if you do any single mistake, the right now just do the next line. Next line, just to simplify using calculator, right? Finally, you get the this is four. I just get it 4 decimal places because more accurately, because otherwise you won't get this answer. Remember, later I just 4.48 to get 4 decimal places. Each value get 4 decimal places. Then simplify. You get the 32.31. See, you get the correct answer. The answer is correct. In this time, the textbook's answer also correct. If you do it, you can check. This is how it's simple. Just leave it few minutes if you want to just note down. After this, the next part, how to use the quotient function. The function divided by another function. How to do the differentiation of the quotient. I think now you can maybe a few minutes if you want to just note down this answer. All right, now we start the next part, next formula, the differentiation of quotient. The quotient means this u by v this time. For example, x squared divided by sin x or sin x divided by dx. Maybe you both can be functions of x, simple functions of x. X plus 1 squared by x plus x minus 1 squared likewise. Now this is the formula. Remember, the proof is not necessary to familiar. If the function is u by v, this is the du by dx. We start with the v. You know, when some of the students do mistake, because start with the u, not the v. You have to start with the v function. V du by dx, then minus u dv by dx divided by the v squared. This is the function, and this is called this is known as the quotient rule. Earlier one is the product rule. Remember, product rule. This is the quotient rule. When you are solving so many questions, then automatically this you can remember this particular formula. Let us see some examples. The first one, the sum of the the elementary steps has been eliminated here. Remember, all the simple steps are not given. See the differential, find the differential coefficient of 4 sin 5x divided by 5x4 u by v. Then take again similarly take u as the 4 sin 5x, v as the 5x4. Now write the formula and separately calculate these two separately because it's very complex. No? Find du by dx first. U function differentiate. 4 sin 5x differentiation, 4 is a constant, sin 5x differentiation, 5 cos 5x. Then simplify 20 cos 5x. Separately you do likewise. Now this is du by dx. Similarly, calculate the dv by dx. dv by dx simple. V is a 5x4, no? 5x4. Differentiation 5 constant, x4 differentiation 4x3. And that is you get 20x3. Now we have the du by dx here and dv by dx here. Now substitute in the formula. This is the substitution. You can laterally substitute. Just have to look out how it performs here. When I ask you to do, remember everybody should do this one. Otherwise, actually, even I don't like to proceed the lectures. You must do some exercise today also, right? Now they simplify, the multiply and simplify, you get this answer, right? I'm not going to explain how to simplify this and just normal multiplication and simplify. Okay, there's just no way to the too much simplify. Only just one factor out 4 divided by 5x5. Then the remaining part is this one. It's the answer anyway, right? That is not important, but this substitution correctly is important. This line up to if you do correct, if you do it correctly up to this line, during the examination, that we are not not losing any marks. If you stop at this position, full marks will be given. These are just a simplification. No? You won't get at this level. You won't get any marks for this level. Maybe sometimes maybe only one or two marks. Actually, the majority of marks up to this level. Remember, this is important. But if you substitute the values correctly, differentiation correctly, this is important. Du by dx, right? The others are just to multiply and simplify. No? I think that's the quotient function. I think you have the note, you can go through. Just another one, maybe this will be difficult one. If you see your past paper, you can't see this kind of even. We have very simple things, but this note has been prepared for the other engineering courses also. Therefore, some difficult one also included here. But the same step, same step. Just assume as a 1 is a u, 2x squared minus is a u, v square root is a v. Straight away differentiation is given, right? U d by dx, this function, then v d by dx is square root of x. Metanama differentiate kalla become, right? So what is the differentiation of 2x squared minus 3? That's a 2x, right? 4x. That is 4x minus 2a square minus t square root differentiation, you get this one. They make explain කරන්න ඕනේ නැහැ මොකද අපි ජීවිතයක් කරා x to the power half x minus half එතන මේක එන්නේ. ඊට පස්සේ after that this line is the important line. The other one just to simplify, right? Correctly simplify. That's all. The second one you can I think everything should have the hard copies. Don't wait until I show the PowerPoint presentation to see the answers. Right, now we go to the, when it comes to answer time, you have to do questions, right? And these are the, your turn, right? I think the answers are not there for this. Even I didn't prepare the answers for this one, this are just to press enter and see. So many exercise times, see, so many exercises are there, right? So many exercises are there. Unless you complete these exercises, I'm not going to see so many exercises. I think this is the final part of the differentiation. See the whole, this is the final part of the differentiation. I think after that, different. Next day we explain these things, right? These are the product of the different tan x, x, cos x. You know that these things need some exercises and differentiation function. Now this is a new topic. We come to that later. Now too early for these things. So go back previous lessons. Yeah, after that, so many exercises are there. If you have a hard copy, you can see these exercises are in the earlier versions. So start with this one. See some exercises. The content.
So, problem 13 answer, please.
13.
Yes.
Previous one.
Sir.
Wait. You mean this one?
No, previous one.
Previous one.
Problem 13.
Mouse point is not working. You mean this one?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Hold on a second.
I just leave it in few minutes. Just read it, right? I don't want to keep the hard copies with you, right? You should have the hard copies.
Okay, sir.
Now this is the next example. I guess leave it if you want to see this one also, leave it. But most important, the exercises. You guys must start doing the exercises. These exercises, even answers, even not prepared, right? Maybe if you want to see the exercise answers, some of I can read of by looking at the question. I can do the answer, but you have to solve it first. Someone, maybe next day I'll prepare and give answers for the not similar thing, the similar one, maybe different question. If it's a different one, I'll give the answers, right, next day. But today just practice these are the exercises I initially just asked you to do. These elementary questions are there. Every the questions are actually mixed one. The very elementary and some little bit difficult one, not the very difficult. The product quotient formula. Actually, here's the quotient formula required only for the part I. Remember, part I. Quotient formula required only for the part I. Part H quotient formula is not required. You can do both methods. That is the learning curve. That learning method. These are this kind of part H I am referring. You can do both methods by separating this one to the two functions. Then you can do it easily. Or use U by V function also. You can do it. Both methods you differentiate. Remember, you should get the same answer. That's the beauty of the differentiation. Many methods, maybe 2 or 3, 4 methods, You can use it, but finally you get the same answer. Part J, you have to use the product. Product or even multiplication also you can simplify and you can do it both ways. Only the question actually why in this category, remember only question why required the question formula. Now do yourself, just do it these things, even next day don't expect answers for this kind of thing. It's so simple. Actually, I am not going to prepare answers. I am not going to actually spend my own time to prepare answers for these things because preparing answers is not easy because equation editors has to be used. It is a time consuming thing, remember. It's unnecessary. I don't like to waste my time. It is difficult question. I can prepare the answers as so far practice. These things just do it quickly. I can give the answers straight away, right? By looking at the questions, I can give the answers. Maybe question up to G, I can give the answers. But this one has to be simplified and I have a piece of work and give the answer, right? This one. Then do it yourself and question F also have to simplify. Later you can understand there are some function formulas and another methods also there, right? Another methods also there. For the time being, I just do A, B, C, D, A, B, C, D, A, B, C, D, very simple. E also just multiply and differentiate, right? Multiply and differentiate, you can easily. Now do as much as possible these things and followed by some more applications, more exercises. Now write down you can give the answers or you can send messages. What is the answer for the first one? Tell me. Pi is a constant, no? What is the du by dx of the constant?
0.
0. That is 0. That is 0. The second one, 2x9 plus 3x. What is the du by dx? 2 is a constant. X9 differentiation, 9x 8. Right? When you differentiate the 2x9, 2 is a constant. X9, 9x8. Finally, you get 18x8. 18x plus 3. That's all. That's the answer. 18x8 plus 3. That's the differentiation of the part 2. Part C, 2x plus 5. That's all. 2x plus 5. dy by dx equal to x squared differentiation 2x. This is 5 plus 5. 7 is 0. Now, part D, just multiply.
2x minus 6.
You can use as a product formula also. That is nothing to do with the product formula, but if you multiply this one, expand this one, you see differentiate. No? But if you expand, you get x squared minus x. X squared minus x differentiation 2x minus 1. Part D answer should be 2x minus 1 because if we expand, I am just reading, not I am just reading and do the answer. Right? I don't have even paper. I don't have even pen here now because I didn't pen here. Y equal x squared minus x. X squared is a 2x. X is 1. 2x minus 1. Up to D. Up to D, very simple. 2x minus. Now go to the part D. Just multiply this particular two things. Otherwise, you can use the product formula also, no problem. Remember, if you want to apply the product formula, you can just you take a 2x minus 3 as a u, take 5 minus 6 as a v. That option. You can do both methods and take your answer. That's a good practice. You know, another method, just expand this one, simplify this one, and differentiate. You might get the same answer. You should get the same answer. Just doing the first instance, multiply. You get the 10x minus 15 minus 12x, sorry, minus 12x squared, minus 12x squared plus 18x, plus 18x. Can you remember the four terms when you expand? I am reading, you have to write and you have to write, right? I just read it. But if you multipy, you get the 4 terms, no? 10x minus 15, right in this order. Then minus 12x squared, then you get plus 18x. You can simplify. When you simplify, you get, first you can write minus 12x squared. The first minus 12x squared. Here you get the 10x first, then 18x, 28x plus 28x, right? 20 plus 20 minus 12 squared plus 28x, that is the 10x and 18x, 10, 28x minus 15, right? Now differentiate. You can get the answer, no? Minus 12 squared differentiation minus 24 minus 24x 12x squared, no, squared 2x minus 24x. Then the 28x differentiation 28. That's all you get. Minus 24x plus 28. They make you minus 24x minus 24x plus 28. This one. This one I can't tell the answer unless you simplify. Unless you simplify. Make a one method expand x square plus 5 to the power 3 using a binomial expansion. But when you practice the function of a function, maybe discuss in the next day, just a shortcut to do that. Remember, you can easily you can do it. You need not to expand anyway. Remember, you need not to expand anyway. Function of a function. Just a kind of substitution apply for the differentiation. But for the time being, you can use just expand this one first. X squared plus 5 to the power 3. You can expand using binomial theorem. If you can remember binomial theorem, 3C0 x squared. Then one is when you expand A plus B3. A plus B3. Okay, expand now, if you want, I can give the answers maybe from this one onwards. Part G is nothing. Part G also you can do it easily. Part G. I just leave it to you. Part F. Remember, they expand first correctly. Binomial theorem මතක නැත්නම් ඒක දෙකක් වැඩි කරලා ඊට පස්සේ ඒ උත්තරේ ආයි එකකින් වැඩි කරන්න. First find x squared plus 5 to the squared. Multiply that one x squared plus 5. Then again another method, that one. Part G very simple. 23x to the power minus 4. No? 23x to the power minus 4. It's very simple. You can differentiate easily. Part H, you can separate into two parts. 1 minus 1 upon x. Part H, 1 minus 1 upon x. You can move 1 minus x to the power minus 1. 1 minus x to the power minus 1. Then differentiate කරන පුළුවන් ලේසියෙම මේක මේ option එක ගන්න I can't give the answer without doing it. Use the quotient function u divided by v function. එහෙම කරන්න මේක. Even last time also just multiply and differentiate. Even you can use the product formula if you want, or otherwise multiply and differentiation also possible. I just mentioned the methods, right? If you go to the next slide, this is second exercise. All the f dash, when the function equal is fx dy by, you can write dy by dx, so it's called f dash x. Functional notation is f dash x. For each of the following, find f dash a for the given a. So your a value is given now. Calculate the f dash x, the differentiation, and simplify the values. If you want, just do it yourself. Remember, even this one, the previous one, you do yourself leisurely. There are many exercises. Do this exercise yourself. Answers will be given from the F onwards. If many try answer, then F there are answers. H one you can do it easy. I will make it. If and I by J also you can do it easily, but here maybe all. I'll be given answers for this particular thing. You must do it. If you don't have the hard copy, take a hard copy. Remember, you must do your homework. You must do your homework, and generally you'll be able to understand the other parts, right? Some differentiation, some are product, some are portions, um, and some are stated. You can differentiate. Part B, D, F. F of course, portion function. You have to question. Remember, you have to question. Do it. And what is next? There's another exercises 10-4. The do it yourself. Different kind of exercises. Application kind of. Find the slope. What slope can it? dy by dx again. How many terms? The coefficient of differentiation or dy by dx or f dash x or the rate of change of y respect to x or the slope. The differentiation definition. Dy by dx coefficient of differentiation. F dash x that is the Leibniz and the Newton's notation. F dash x rate of change slope slope dy by dx. What is that? Find the slope of the curve at point whose coordinate is 2. Very good exercises you must do, right? This exercise and question number 4 also you must do these things. Very good exercises. Maybe answer you see if you require many times, so much time I require to prepare the answers. By writing them, I can maybe within 10 minutes I can give the answers. But when I enter into the equation editor and prepare the answers, it's not easy to remember. It's a very time consuming. But there's a lot of efforts had to be made, to prepare the answers. Those are not, I am teaching only this particular subject that can be done easily because so many. The semester 2 engineering, DST, I have to prepare differential equation. So many answers have to be prepared. Very difficult preparing answers. Online video, remember, is not easy. When the face-to-face, I can write everything on the board, no? But here I have to prepare it online. For using equation editors, when you come to the different, the integration, differentiation, mark, those notation, sigma notation sometimes, the NCR notation, all has to be, facilities are there, but it takes some time to prepare. But anyway, I prepare answers for these things. Remember, you must do your homework. Remember, I don't like to remember these things many times. You must do your homework. Prepare the answers and come. Don't wait until take a photograph of the answers. You must do it. Do it and come. Fortunately, with the face-to-face session, I can check, but there's no way to check here, right? Now go to the next one. There is so many answers, questions, difficult questions are there. See? These are me. I just typed using myself. These are the copies from the textbook. The compilation of the different exercises, maybe some past papers, all derivatives has to be fine. So many things. I try to even prepare the answers for this one. If you do it, if you do this, if you do yourself first, then only my answer preparation also the valid. Otherwise, no point. You are just just looking at without really knowing not knowing what is the question. By looking at the answers, this and the say just time. No? For example, see the question number 19. We don't know the question. If I show the answers, what's the meaning of that? Now, you have the value. If you try this question many times, if you fail or you go do it some way, you can check your answers. If you do it, then only you realize this is important, right? Up to now, see, After this, a new part. After this, new lesson. These are new parts. Even though exercises, I can give the solution. But try this one also. Just better to show you this one. Differential coefficient. Remember heading quotient and product. Same thing. Because the standard functions are being given only for the sin x and cos x. We do this part also today, right? Using the derivative sin x and cos x, find the derivatives of the following. See, interesting. The sin x cos x derivative be familiar, no? Sin x is a cos x is a minus sin x. These are the independent functions. But tan x, sec x, cos x, and cot x are not independent because those are tan x is a sin by cos. Sec mean 1 by cos. Cosec mean 1 by sin. Cot mean cos by x. Now we have the formula. See, product formula here, of course, is the quotient formula. Get the derivatives of these things. Remember, you have a lot of things to do. Don't take lightly. Above, we have the three exercises, big exercises to understand the differentiation. And the tan x, sec x, cos x, and cot x. By writing down the tan x like sin x, cos x, then the quotient function. Remember, quotient function can be used. Sec x is a 1 upon cos x, then quotient function again. Cosec x is a 1 upon sin x, again quotient function. Final one, cot x, cos by sin, cos divided by sin, again quotient function. Calculate the derivatives. So many homework, remember, so many homework. What is next? Next may be the new lesson. Some more exercises again. Some more exercises. See? Those are from the same additional exercise. See? Portion, all portion, no? Portion. One function divided by another function. This is also same. I try to prepare the answers. I have to work hard, even to prepare answers for these things. Because the answers have to be all these steps have to be given. But anyway, I try. I think this slide number 84. I just note the place where I stopped. Try to do these things if you can find time. Answers also getting. Each question answers are there. This is a new lesson, right? This is the from. Remember, we start then the next lesson from slide 85. 85. That's a differentiation function of a function. මේ වගේ differentiate කරන්න හැටි පේනවනේ. අර අපි කලින් උදාහරණයක් දුන්නේ 2x plus 5 3 power 3. දැන් අපි මෙතන power එක 8 විතර දුන්නා නම් කොහොමද differentiate කරන්නේ? Very difficult, no? Expansion very difficult. Very easy method is there. This method will be explained next day, not today. I don't like to. Yes, question please. Yes. What the question you want to raise?
No questions. It is very difficult.
Learning is not easy, no?
No.
You think the following a degree is not easy? Do you think that getting the degree is easy? You have to work hard. You have to work hard. Even the time we study, at the university, sometimes even we never sleep sometimes. When the heavy workload is assigned, sometimes we even never sleep. Sometimes, remember, we work very hard. When maybe the final third year, final year, and the postgraduate studies, very difficult. They work hard. Nothing is simple. Okay, now if you see the question paper, that you won't get very difficult in. Actually, this is a body subject now. I need not to fail anybody. But if you even fail to get the 20 marks, and then I can't take. Remember, see the question paper. If you see the question paper, getting 30, 40 marks is nothing, no. But this subject, these slides have been prepared for the whole other courses. So you need not some of the difficult differentiation, but simple differentiation. You have the past papers with you. go through the part, I think you'll be able to answer all the questions. Maybe some part, maximum application part, still you can't do because we have not done that part. Other thing you try to do, right? Even the I explained the answer, you needed to understand everything. See the past paper, this is the expected level. ඕගොල්ලන්ගේ බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන මට්ටම ගොඩක් ඉහළ නෑ මට කියන්න. ඒකින්ද ඒක මට කියන්න I don't like to even continue here some messages, just want to check. Okay, yes, no, nothing. I just no important messages. Maybe some answers. Okay, I think we stop. I just make some note, and I noted this slide. We stop slide 85. This is the place we have to start next day. Differentiation, and before that I'll try to prepare the answers. Some of them not I can't promise because it takes a long time to prepare all the answers. Right. Okay, now I think it's better is winding up the session now. Okay, now just stop the sharing the file. Try to encourage other people, you know, the